Okay, back with another drum video. It's been a while. I apologize. I've got a new drum room here. It's still under construction, but it's getting there, much bigger than the old room. So I'm excited about that. I got the electric drums, the acoustic drums, and a lot more space to do some things and film some things. So I'm excited as that is moving forward. Yeah, so it's been, I don't know how long. It's been over a month, maybe 6 weeks or something, maybe 2 months. I'd have to look back and see. But thanks again for everyone who's liked and subscribed. If you haven't, please like and subscribe. I know we're well over the 2,000 subscribers, which is always exciting. Recently, I had the privilege of going to see Bernie Dresel. I have his album somewhere. I just bought it at a clinic, and he did something interesting. He started off his clinic by playing this. That's what he played for about seemed like a while. He played that. So he played that, and everyone was a little bit like, well, what's he doing? He played it for a lot longer than that. And then he came back and he said, did you ever wonder sometimes that it's hard to play something really simple for a long time without wanting to add other things to it, sort of? And I didn't raise my hand, but I could have, because recently, and even a little before that, I've been thinking about simplifying things. And I know that's weird to probably people who watch the channel, because I have a lot of videos about 1916 and odd groupings of notes and linear patterns and all kinds of things, and I love all that stuff. But the last couple videos I did a couple of Jeff Porcaro videos, and then I saw the Bernie Dresel thing. And even before that, I was working on something that I found to be incredibly difficult for me. And I don't know how difficult it will be for other people. I think for some people it might be fairly easy. Others it might be hard also. And I agree with what Bernie said, that sometimes playing simple is hard to do. So, keeping that in mind, I have two things for you today. There's a song, again, it's a Jeff Porcaro thing, but it's a song by Michael McDonald called Homeboy, which is not a very famous song. But I think it has some of the greatest drumming in it and some of Jeff's best playing. And the thing is, he basically is playing 2 and 4. And I thought, okay, that's not hard to do, and true, but it's hard to play it consistently. And then he puts the accents and things on his hi-hat. So he's really making kind of the flavor of the song is the accents on his hi-hat. And I think it's a 16th note pattern, but he's just playing. Feel good and groove, and then he's adding all this hi-hat. Sure, he has some nice fills, but essentially that's it. That's all he's doing. So for 4 minutes, I tried playing that, and I realized, man, I just want to put an extra bass drum in, or an extra snare drum somewhere, and I can't. So that was the mindset. So the lesson is simple is not always easy. And I may have done a video about this in the past, but I'm going to try to just focus on 2 and 4 and show you this cool hi-hat pattern, because it's also a simple pattern. But to keep everything consistent, that's the key. And then I have a cool fill from that song, Homeboy. It's also a simple fill, but it just sounds so good overall. So I'm going to start it, and this is not going to be a long video. I know some people make mention that I explain things for too long. I think it's the teacher in me. I'm always trying to make sure you get the concept. So this idea is just playing simple and then adding this little hi-hat pattern. And then the concept is to work on different accents on your hi-hat without changing that simple beat of just 1 and 3 on the kick and 2 and 4. Now for some people, might be super easy. For other people who maybe come from a more busy playing background, it's not that easy. And I'm raising my hand again, the first person to admit it. For every bass player I've played with over the years, that I was always changing the rhythm and doing 2 and 3 and 4 bar phrases instead of just repeating the phrase over and over. Guilty. Now I'm not saying it's always something you don't want to do, but man, Porcaro just lays this groove down, and Bernie made the point that sometimes you just gotta lay that down and play it simple, and that's what people want. I'm gonna send a next video. There's another tip that Bernie gave that I think is phenomenal about playing in front of or behind the beat. That's coming up. I've never heard this before, and I couldn't believe it when he said it. It was a very good tip. That's coming up on a future video. Right now, I'm just gonna play this song's called Homeboy by Michael McDonald, one of my favorite drum songs of all time. But it's just a simple pattern. But listen to the hi-hat. So the exercise is just going to be, how long can we just play 2 and 4? And by the way, I saw a video with Porcaro where he talked about just playing 2 and 4 and trying to make it sound good with this exact idea and just trying to play things on the hi-hat. He said he spent hours practicing just that. So while a lot of us are practicing all their crazy rudiments and he's practicing how to get the simple 2 to 4 to sound good. I think it worked out pretty good for him because he's only on about 9 million records. So, okay. So we're going to play this two-handed, okay, it's about 110 beats a minute, and I'm going to try to just play 2 and 4 on the snare and 1 and 3, and then add some accents. You're going to see it on the screen. The accent pattern he plays is going to be 1, 2, 3, or whatever. And then it could be whatever, but that's going to be the main groove, and it sounds so good in the song. So here we go. In there because I wanted to do something else. I don't know if you caught that. So that's it. Trying to put these things on top and just keeping that 2 and 4. It's hard to do for a long period of time. The longer you do it, the more you want to put stuff in. But I would encourage you to just try to think hi-hat and just try to think, what can I do on the hi-hat to embellish things? Sure, you can put in some double strokes, some 30-second notes. Or you could, again, make it a little simpler and just try to accent the 16th note. So any of that stuff, I encourage you, for people who play more busy or busier, it's not as easy to do to just try to stick to it. You may not have noticed it or not, but my tendency was to want to put more in. So I'm still in the early stages of trying to play as simple as I can and just work with accents on top. So that's the main lessons. Simple isn't always easy when it comes to that. Now in the fill towards the end, or in the song towards the end, there's a fill. And it's this fill. It's just 8th note, 2/16, 8th note, 2/16, 8th note, 2/16, 8th note, 2/16. 1 bar fill, okay? Bass drum on 1, 1, 8, 2, 8, 3, 8, 4, 8. That's the fill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. So this is a little bonus for you. I think the main part, what I would think of this lesson is working on the hi-hat dynamics with the basic. But since you stayed till the end here, I'm going to throw in this little fill. So here's the fill played at probably around 110 with a little bit of rhythm before. Mess around with it, keep it simple, 2 and 4 snare, 1 and 3 bass, working on some simple accent patterns for your 16th note two-handed hi-hat patterns on top of a simple beat. So the ride pattern, 16th notes, and again, the song Homeboy by Michael McDonald, it's just one of the great drum songs. It just is. It's such a groove. And it's simple, but the hi-hat, pay attention to his hi-hat. There's a famous album by Chick Corea called Now He Sings, or is it Now He Sings, Now He Sobs? I think that's the title. Very famous. And it's famous, a lot of people point to it, and my old jazz teacher pointed to it, said, all you have to do is listen to the ride pattern in that song. Just listen to the ride pattern. Listen to the drummer playing the ride. That's all. If you want to work on your jazz ride pattern, Now He Sings, Now He Stops. Listen to what he does, how he turns things around, just the dynamics, how he plays. Okay, I did a lot of time listening to that. I still don't play like that, but it's a great album to listen to try to achieve this sort of sound. This is the same thing. Listen to this song. Just try to take in the dynamics of the hi-hat and the simplicity of the bass and the snare, but how the whole song sort of grooves and everything around it, just the hi-hat part fits in with what's going on. So I just think it's one of the great songs, and for that reason, for drumming, and obviously Porcaro plays some nice fills and things, including that one. Okay, so that last one again, one more time. My paper. Practice, practice, practice. again, I've got a tip from Bernie Dresel about playing behind and in front of the beat. That one's coming up, and a couple other things. I won't be 2 months, guarantee that. So hopefully you like this one. Like and subscribe, and sometimes the old "keep it simple, stupid" is fairly accurate for certain things. So anyway, work on your simplicity of playing, which sometimes isn't so simple.